So recently, I was invited out to drinks by a guy I just met to join him and his friends and his roommates, and later he invited me back to his apartment, only to be kicked out within 5 minutes by his roommate. I asked him why, he wouldn't explain. He just said, "Can you please not be in my apartment?" It's hard to know what the real lesson here is, since I actually don't know what I did wrong that made him so offended. But I think there are a few takeaways from that night that I wanted to pass on. Number one, even though I think it might have been something more with him than with me, when it comes to autistic people like me, there always has to be an extra level of self-reflection. One of my friends compared it to wives who are abused by their husbands, how they will often ask themselves what they might have done to egg on their abusers, and what they can do to not invoke the worst side of the worst people. Another one of my friends told me a story of his friend who's also on the spectrum, who lives with a really toxic and abusive girlfriend. But whenever he talks about her to his family, they always take her side and assume it was something he did to make her mad, when really he should probably break up with her and move on. So I don't know what to say about this, but perhaps the takeaway here is, while self-reflection is super important, it's also important to not always assume that you're the problem, which is my problem. It's all too easy for me to say, wow, I must have really messed up bad for him to kick me out like that. And the fact that I don't know what I did wrong means there's something even more wrong with me. So maybe this was all me, and maybe he was actually a nice guy. Don't always assume that you're the problem. It's not true. And toxic and narcissistic people will take advantage of that. Now that's all I have to say, but I'm actually curious if anybody else, autistic or not, has had a similar scenario. Were you ever in a group of people who seemed to like you, but one person just completely had it out for you? Would love to hear your story in the comments and how you handled it.